I think it'll tell you it's recording. All right. All right. So I pulled out the Trim Healthy Mama book this weekend, and I picked out 8 recipes because I was gonna like food prep, and I'm like, okay, because busy. I'm like, if I food prep, then I'll be prepared. Well, the only thing I ended up prepping was all my meats, but that actually worked out really well. So I prepped all my chicken and all my turkey, my ground turkey. And I was like getting down on myself because I didn't food prep any meals. But then like Monday night comes, it's 5:30, everybody's hungry. And I'm like, wow, like having the meat done was such a huge, like, cause I made the lazy lasagna. That's our favorite. I love that one.
Yeah.
So it was such a huge hurdle. Like the fact that the protein was done, I was like, okay. So, I was feeling like bad about myself because I didn't food prep on the weekend. But then I'm like, I need to give myself credit because getting the protein done, because you're touching chicken and, then you move on to the next step of the recipe and you have to sanitize so getting that done, that out of the way, that was great. So.
Oh, I totally agree. You've just given me a great idea too, because I don't work and I am home, I don't food prep, but the times that I have, like there was a time when I helped my cousin, she was working full time and I helped her prep for a couple of weeks. And, I did mine at the same time and it was so helpful. But yeah, just having the meat done is huge. I think that's huge.
It was such a win because when I went to go do that lasagna and then we ate leftovers yesterday, I'm like, all I have to do is put sauce in the pan. Like, I'm like, this is not hard at all. Like you're gonna, if you're gonna make a corn dog or a frozen pizza, it's the same amount of effort,
Right. That's great. So yeah, you've got a good start.
Yeah. So I've told myself I'm not gonna worry about, I was just gonna start with dinner, like get one meal. So does that, is that, and then with Trim Healthy Mama with the E's and the S's, like since I'm only doing one meal, I'm not really concerning myself too much if it's an E or an S, but I am, I don't know what I should do next. Like at what point should I feel good about dinner and then what should I add next to my.
Well, I mean, you know me, I'm hardcore. So if I'm in, I'm all in.
Right.
So I didn't ease into it. I started 100%, but that was just me. So, I might do that for a week, do it for a week, get yourself, used to the thinking and go all in. I mean, go ahead and, I think we overcomplicate it sometimes. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, there are really only 3 rules to Trim Healthy Mama.
Okay.
All right. No sugar.
Okay.
You know that, right?
Well, I'm going to pretend like that was the first time I heard it.
Okay. No sugar. And we separate our fats and carbohydrates most of the time.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And number 3, every meal or snack is anchored with protein.
Right.
Okay. Those are the only 3 rules, really. But, sometimes I think we get so caught up in, and I do too, I want to know the numbers.
Right.
You get to thinking, we just overcomplicate it. So
it's true.
Anyway, those are the 3 rules. And if you'll follow those, I mean, you're gonna lose weight,
Right.
And, I mean, the reason we separate our fats and carbs.
Tell me more about that. I need to own that. Like I logically understand it, but it's not in my blood yet.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Have you ever been on a keto diet?
No.
Okay. Well, our bodies burn like crazy. If we're eating fats and carbs together, our bodies burn the fats first. So to our bodies, the fats are their favorite fuel. So they burn, burn, burn that fat. And then, you've got all these carbs that you ate also. The body is satisfied. And what's it going to do with the carbs? It ends up storing them as fat.
Okay.
So that's why we separate the fuels.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it'll use the carbs. If I only give it carbs, it'll burn carbs.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if I only give it fat, it'll burn fat.
Yeah, but if you eat them together, it's going to burn the fats first and store the carbs.
Ah.
But you do need healthy carbs too, because your thyroid, you need carbohydrates. The keto diets, I don't know. I mean, I've been on them, and after like the third day, I'm just like,
Right.
I have zero energy. But anyway, that's why we separate them. So, but not all the time. So.
But to start out, just so which one's S and which one's E?
Okay. S means satisfying.
Okay.
And this is how I remember it. And you're satisfying your body. Just remember, your body burns the fat first. So your body is becoming satisfied.
Okay.
And that is your fatty meals. So S is the fatty meal, and E is your energy, and those are your carbohydrates. And I also too think of energy, with sugar, like kids getting a sugar rush or something.
Okay.
That helps me remember it that way.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So I know, like, I have to eat, or I get to eat. I get to eat the same fuel type in a meal setting. So don't mix my E's and my S's.
Right.
So if I decide, breakfast is an E, as long as lunch is 3 to 4 hours later, I can switch.
Yes. And I was getting caught up in thinking that I had to eat within 3 hours, but that's not right.
Okay.
Sometimes I stretch it out a little longer. You don't have to eat every 3 hours. You can wait a little bit longer.
Okay.
So now I honestly, when we got in this last healthy journey, we wanted to drop some pounds. I cut out my snacks. So I'm just doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then, I might have an after dinner snack sometimes. Right now I'm doing a hot cup of tea. It seems like I want a little something because we eat early.
That makes
yeah.
Okay, so do I need to worry, like, at least in the beginning, do I need to bother myself with, well, it was an entirely S day, or I've had 3 S days in a row, because I may gravitate towards the S's out of
me too.
I don't want to be
me too. Well, I've learned from experience just with my own body that I lose weight better, and this is probably going to get a little confusing, but I lose weight better if I stay away from heavy S meals. They call them S meals, but a heavy S would be where you're using cream cheese, whipping cream, full fat cheese,
Okay.
Things like that.
Okay.
So when I want to drop pounds, I stick more with the S meals that use like a fatty meat or an olive oil,
Okay.
or a coconut oil or butter. Those are what we call deep S meals.
Okay.
So let you catch up with that thinking.
That makes sense, because I've started Trim Healthy Mama. When I first started it, it was when I somehow, well, I think I found it before I got divorced. So when I got divorced, I was like right still at 260 pounds, because that's what Lincoln did to me. We'll blame him. It was all his. He's 5.5, but I'm still gonna blame him. So
I hear ya.
So when I got divorced, I was like 260 pounds. I had knew about Trim Healthy Mama, but never tried it. And then after I got divorced, of course, it's a wonderful awakening and opening up of all new things in your life, if for some people, and it was for me. So I started Trim Healthy Mama, fully commit. I only had to worry about feeding myself, which was great. I mean, the kids were doing their thing, but it's like, great. I don't have to cook for a man. I'm on my own. Like, I'm feeling good about myself. And I dropped it fast. And, it was, I got down to I almost got to Wonderland. I probably got down to like 208-ish, and I was feeling great. I mean, I looked good. I felt good. I could tell a difference in my skin. My mental clarity was phenomenal. And I felt really good. And then eventually, I just somehow I got out of it. And every time that I try to start it back up since then, I just cannot find my groove with it. I think, like you said, like I overcomplicate it, because now, first of all, I'm happy. So love makes you fat, I think.
Yeah.
So, I have that love fat. So like now I'm back up to like 240, and, it's just, I think I'm probably overcomplicating, because I think I got to food prep and I got to do all these things, and I got to think constantly about what I'm eating. And there is.
I think you need to plan, but I don't think it has to be so complicated. And I have like a handful of meals that I can walk into the kitchen and put together without my brain.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they tend to be fuel pool meals. Do you know what a fuel pool meal is?
Yeah, so that you can eat with an S or an E, because it.
Yes, but they have full out meals that are just fuel pool.
Okay.
So I try, and I discovered if I will add several of those into my week, it really helps with weight loss.
So what's happening scientifically when you talked about fats and carbs? What's happening in a fuel pool meal?
Well, a fuel pool meal is low in carbohydrates, low in fats, and it tends to be lower in calories.
Okay.
So it's going to use a lot of your non-starchy vegetables, and maybe some lean ground turkey or a lean fish or chicken. We can use a lot of chicken in fuel pool meals. But so I went through, and I also have the membership online, but I went through and searched for all the fuel pool dinners. Mm-hmm. And I just pulled out a bunch of those that we really love. I mean, that okra soup that I made earlier this week, I mean, it has such a good flavoring. I mean, these sisters have taught me how to season food, because prior to this, I mean, I could cook, but I just didn't season things very well. It was always bland or
right.
So they have really taught me how to season food. And Jeff just thinks I'm a fantastic cook now. So, but it's not from my own doing. It's just learning how to season things properly. But anyway, their fuel pool meals are seasoned well, so you will not feel deprived.
Right.
Add several of those into your week. Maybe 3. Start with, this week, do your S's, fall in love with Trim Healthy Mama again.
Right.
And next week, plan on putting some fuel pools in there. And with your kids, I mean, just add some brown rice to theirs, or, add a sweet potato to theirs, or something to give them, some carbohydrates.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I feel like you're giving me freedom because, this weekend I'm like, I got the spreadsheets and I got the book and I'm like, and Nick will go out, Nick will follow me because he just wants me to be happy. So he's like, what do you need, babe? Like he went to the grocery store, I gave him a list, but I get so cerebral about it. It's like, I'm going to tackle this, I'm going to think my way
Right.
through this,
Yeah, you're overcomplicating it. And I understand that because when I jump in, I want to jump in 100% too. But I found it easier when we really wanted to drop pounds this year and it felt easier. And my secret was tracking because even with, you can overeat broccoli, you know what I mean? And I feel like I have a man's appetite. I love food. I love to eat. So it really helped me to start tracking. And they don't recommend tracking with Trim Healthy Mama because it is supposed to be food freedom. But tracking helped me realize that my portions were too big. So
we just got actually in our fall catalog for Pampered Chef, a new product we have is a food scale. So I have a food scale.
Oh, okay.
So what do you use a food scale? Like, do you, you weigh or measure or, yeah.
Yeah, when I made our Monday night meal, I measured 4 ounces of chicken because I knew, how much that was going to be. And a lot of people won't go to that trouble.
Right.
If you don't, it's fine. You can use your fist, for, this is approximately 3 ounces kind of thing.
Right. But just getting my mind around just, the S and the F, the fuel pull first, like if I can just start there and just start making some corrective habits. Now, I know we've talked about it in the past. I'm doing really well with alcohol. I've not drank, we went to dinner and so I had wine when we went out. But other than that, I have not bought wine for the house in 2.5, almost 3 weeks now, which is huge.
Yeah.
For me, because I was drinking like almost at least every night, cooking, drinking wine, and just, so that's been great. So I'm like, okay, the scale can give me some props for that, please.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, my history with alcohol and we've been alcohol free. I guess I'm going on my 8th year and Jeff is going on 9. So he quit drinking actually for me about a year before I did.
Wow.
But we do not miss it. It's, it's just something that we don't miss. Full life and we feel great. And, that's just the way we want to live.
So I have my, these I love. So this is the pink drink, the Plexus pink drink.
Woohoo!
I love these for hunger suppression.
Yeah.
But I'm not good at always taking every day. I take it like, okay, I got to take one in the morning. And like, how many do you drink a day?
You can drink 2. You can drink 2 if you want, but, and I actually had 2 yesterday. I don't always have 2, but sometimes I'll drink that second one just as a treat because I love the taste.
Yeah, the taste is so good. Like, because I don't drink anything except water. So sometimes like when I want like a little flavor, I'm like, I want my pink drink because it tastes really good. But
it does.
So is the primary benefit of this is the hunger suppression?
Well, the one you have, that is Hunger Control Slim.
Okay.
One and the other one is Microbiome Slim. They both help balance your blood sugar. So it was actually created for type 2 diabetics, to help with blood sugar. And the premise, behind Trim Healthy Mama is a balanced blood sugar too, to help you drop weight. So that's how it helps. When your blood sugar is balanced, your body just naturally loses weight easier.
Okay.
But the hunger control does have fiber in it. So if you will drink it, 30 minutes or so before you eat, then you'll feel fuller.
Yeah.
The other one, the Microbiome Slim, has a prebiotic fiber in it that feeds your good gut bacteria. So that's the difference between the two. But yeah, I just, they really helped me. And, after I was on that for consistently, for several months, I just noticed that I had a giddiness, and it lifted my mood a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just probably my body coming into balance and, finding that happy medium. So
Yeah, it's so true. Because when I lost, the 50 pounds the first time after the divorce, once I started, what was motivating me was the fact that the fog was lifting off of my head. I felt so clear-headed, and I was able to focus on my work. And I mean, and I think at that time we had connected, and I was taking Slim also back then.
Yeah, it does help with brain fog.
It's phenomenal. So it's, now it's just a matter of, setting realistic goals and just changing my habits.
Well, a lot of people think that they have to eat perfectly to take, Plexus Slim. But, that's the one thing, even, that's the one thing we've done for 4.5 years is just take that stuff every day, because we know it's healing to our bodies. And even when we've gone through periods of, not eating great. So it's the easy thing to do,
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like if you're not eating healthy, like you throw away all the other things that are helping, because it's like,
right.
Well, if I'm not going to go to the gym and I'm not going to eat healthy,
I know.
I'm just going to let this sit in my cabinet, like it's there, like,
And I'll wait until I get my diet right. Yeah.
Just like, we wait just as Christians, like, oh, I have to be perfect before I can go to God. No, like, that's the whole point. Like,
I know. I mean, church is a hospital for sinners. So
right. Right. Like,
we think they're all, and I thought the same thing when I started going back to church. I mean, I thought, oh my goodness, I looked around and all these people look so happy. But, I don't feel that. I mean, I did not feel it. So I kept making myself go, though, and eventually it came. But I thought the same thing going back. I thought they're just perfect, and
right.
know them. I mean, they're not. It's a hospital for sinners.
Yep. Exactly. Well, this is very helpful. So I feel like, okay, so no sugar, separate fats and carbs most of the time, which fats are an S, carbs are an E. And every meal or snack should be anchored with protein. And I just need to start. I don't need to overcomplicate it. I just need to be conscious of, I think I'm going to gravitate naturally more towards S meals, be conscious of putting in fuel pull meals, FP meals.
Yes, that'll help you.
Do my Slim 2 days a week. Like if I just start there, does that feel, is that good?
Well, you said Slim 2 days a week.
Or two times a day, I mean.
Yes. Yeah, sounds great.
2 times a day. Yeah, not 2 days a week. 2 times a day. I really like, I can tell a difference, because what I'll do is, like, sometimes I'll have it in the morning, and then I won't eat sometimes till like 2 p.m. I won't even eat.
Oh, wow.
Because
that sounds like almost intermittent fasting.
Yeah. It's mostly because I feel like if I'm not going to make a good decision, then I just won't make any decision.
Oh, wow. Yeah, but you need to eat, you can't starve yourself, because that's going to tank your metabolism.
Which is probably, and that's what mine is all, midsection, it's 30 pounds in the last, 2.5 years.
I use Lean, which we sell that also. It's a protein shake. And also, I just got in a shipment yesterday. I use Trim Healthy Mama's flavored protein powders now. I love them.
Okay.
Have you ordered any of those?
Well, I have like the baking blend and the gentle sweet, but I don't have the protein powder.
They have a strawberry, they have cookies and cream, they have a vanilla, a chocolate. These are really good, but we have Lean also. So I'll kind of, I might have one for breakfast and the other for lunch, but that might be something quick and easy that you could mix up and, have for breakfast just to get your body started.
Yeah. I need to. Yeah. On the days that I'm like, I'm going to do good. That's what our blender, the Pampered Chef blender, we have a smoothie cup adapter. So you can just put your smoothie cup in it. It mixes right in there. So you don't even have to transfer or anything.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So when I have done it, I'll do it while the kids are eating breakfast. I'll make my smoothie, then we'll get in the car and go, and I can
Yeah.
on the way to school. So yes, I'm excited. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Whenever I need help, you're always the one I call.
Well, I love to help. I love Trim Healthy Mama. I love Plexus, and I love so anytime.
Thank you. All right. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.